his views of the vision of IIT Delhi, which he has with all of you.
So let me, tell you what we are planning to do and what has Institute done in the last so many years, and where do we plan to be, let us say, in the next 5 years, 5 to 10 years in the future. So there is a major role alumni can play. You are all stakeholders of the IIT system. I think we expect you to be our ambassadors, and we expect you to interact with students, faculty, and staff on the campus. Now, you can of course contribute in so many different ways, which is very vital, I believe, at this juncture for IIT Delhi. And we also are looking at reaching higher levels of excellence, and but keeping the institute true to its founding values. I think that will always be the case. And whatever we might want to do, I think the founding values of the institute will still remain intact. And I will just tell you what has happened to IITD in the last so many years, and where do we want to see that. And there are people, in fact, in this audience, Professor Nanda, for example, from IIM side, they are also pushing similar kind of agendas. So one of the things we are all facing now as institutions of higher learning is, the government, the public, the press, everybody expects us to become world class. And now, a week or two from now, the QS rankings will be out, and you will see in the newspapers everywhere, why is it that not a single Indian institution in the top 100 kind of area. So since this debate comes up every year, I thought I will share with you, some of the things which are leading to our current rankings and what we can do better in that respect, and why are we ranked where we are right now. IIT Delhi particularly is doing very well. In fact, in many national rankings we do pretty good. This, the NIRF, which is the Government of India ranking, this can be better. This year, I'm confident we will move to the 3rd place. And there was some issue with some data that was provided by IITD. Otherwise, we are, in the top 2, top 3, depends on how we look at it. And the 13th in QS BRICS ranking, 36th in Asia ranking. And in fact, IIT Delhi is the only institute among the IIT system which is in the top 200 ranking. So and the credit for all of that should go to the faculty, staff, and students of this institute. And all of you have contributed to that ranking. But I should also tell you that there are many departments of IIT which are in the top 100. Mostly the engineering departments. And even this year, unofficially, we do know that things are looking better than what they are. And so there are multiple engineering departments in the top 100, but overall we are still in the top 200. But I should also tell you, why is it that we are not in the top 100? Why are we still in the top 200? So it's important to know. For example, the way the QS particularly looks at the rankings, if you look at the main 5 IITs, which are give and take a few things, are all at a similar level in terms of publications, citations, the patents, the collaborative research, and all of these things, all of them have approximately similar, despite what the institutes individually say. Some institutes have a better PR mechanism, some institutes don't have that. But you don't have to believe what the institutes are saying. And I would like to think that all the main 5 institutes are in the same league, with a plus or minus 10% kind of a variation. So that's the current situation. Even if you look at the faculty-student ratio, with emphasis on permanent faculty and PhD students and metrics for library and laboratory facilities, even here things are approximately identical, except that IIT Kanpur is losing out a little bit and IIT Kharagpur is losing out a little bit because of the space disadvantage they have now. All over faculty hiring these days has become a two-body problem. Finding employment for spouse is as important as providing employment for the husband or the wife. So therefore, because now everybody is looking for employment opportunities for spouse, Kanpur and Kharagpur are losing out to some extent. But the institutions in big cities like Bombay, Chennai, Delhi, I think are all in a way identical. And then but if you also look at, for example, we also did undertake this major exercise internally. We said, let us compare ourselves with a 50th ranked university in North America and see how are we comparing with respect to one of these universities which is ranked 50 in North America right now. And one of the places where we lose out in our ranking, at least in the QS ranking, is this academic reputation from global survey. And many people still think that IITs are undergraduate institutions, and which is actually not true. Today at IIT Delhi, only 35% of our students are undergraduate students. 65% of them are actually the PhD students. We have almost like 2,500 PhD students today on the rolls, and only one in kind of a thing is a bachelor student. But people don't trust it. Now, even when we say that we are a postgraduate institution, undergraduate programs have been so well established, it's very difficult to change that perception. So when people look at it, we lose a little bit on the academic reputation. And the faculty student ratio, this is again where we lose out in a big way, because we actually get 0 marks for faculty student ratio, because all IITs, whether it's IIT Bombay or IIT Delhi or IIT Madras, all of us can today recruit 300 more faculty. There are 300 faculty positions vacant today in these institutions. Now, if these institutions are not able to get faculty, you can imagine the plight of other institutions in the country right now. So this is one issue where we are facing big challenges. The citations for faculty, this is actually where we are doing better than many 50th ranked universities from North America, and that I will show you with actual data. And the employer reputation from global survey, here again IITs are